time for the mic drop with none other than Mike Tannenbaum. It'd be weird if it was with Graz. I have some questions for Mike T.
I could do it.
And he has some answers for me, the unfiltered GM perspective. All right, first up, are the Rams, Mike, about to go from champs to chumps?
And it starts with this guy right there, Sean McVay, who ironically we see behind the microphone. That's where he'll be next year broadcasting. They're on their third left tackle. They lost Whitworth. They lost Noteboom. Matt Stafford's in concussion protocol. Cooper Kupp is hurt. They have no picks. They have no cap space. They deserve all the credit in the world. They won a championship. But Sean McVay will be broadcasting next year, and they have a massive rebuild.
LA would sign up for what the Lakers and the Rams did. They got championships, but now
what about the Clippers?
Chumps indeed. Oh, stop. I said LA. That's not the Clippers. Next up, Jeff Saturday is a winner. Go ahead.
Max, let's go from rhetoric to results. Jeff Saturday did a heck of a job. It started with playing Matt Ryan, and it finished with them only having 4 penalties compared to the Raiders, who had 10. They ran the ball more effectively, and they kept Matt Ryan upright with great protection. All a result of Jeff Saturday's impact. Good for Jeff, 1-0.
Go, Jeff, but you are expected back here, Jeff, and there is a fine every day you miss. Finally, the Bucs win again. Is it time for the NFC to worry about Tom Brady making a run, Mike?
Yes. I mean, Max, some silly procrastinators said that he wasn't going to be able to be a good quarterback anymore, but he leads the NFL with an 85 QBR and play action pass. When you get the run game going like they did in Sunday in Germany, this is going to be a hard team to beat because it'll slow down the pass rush, and play action is where Tom Brady is deadly.
Did you say prognosticators or procrastinators?
A little bit of each.
Yeah, a little both. Speaking of the Bucs, here is Tom Brady on his podcast as the Bucs enter their bye week.
I think we're in a better place, obviously, than we were 5 quarters ago. And, we found a way to beat the Rams, which was a great win for our team. And then to go to Germany and win and get to 5-5 before the bye was a big goal for all of us. So that was more of a template for winning for our team yesterday than it has been all year. Played very good defense. Offense was a little bit better. Now we got to see if we can continue to improve from here.
By the way, I've been saying this all year about Brady. I finally got it right on Brady. Right? That if you like the Niners, Graz, I know you're not a believer. Most people think the Niners are very live.
I think they're good.
Because they have a quarterback who makes deeper runs almost than anyone in football except for Mahomes and Brady whenever he's healthy, and Jimmy Garoppolo. And otherwise, they surrounded him with a very good team. Good coaching, everything. Tom Brady's in the same position. He has a very talented team. There are injuries here and there. Every team deals with that stuff. He has experienced coaches around him, including his offensive coordinator, who's been there the whole time. And by the way, yes, Garoppolo makes deep runs. Brady makes deeper runs. Like, I was wrong about Brady's cliff. So was Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick was grooming his replacement in Garoppolo. Brady's still better than Garoppolo. So if you like the Niners, why wouldn't you like the Bucs? Once they come alive, and it looks to me like they're coming alive.
And taking a step further, it's the NFC South, and you can compare that to the NFC West. It's a much easier path for the Buccaneers over the 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucs are 5-5, the Niners are 5-4. They're about the same. I don't know who's making these Garoppolo-Brady comparisons that you're trying to shoot down here. Like, what is the, like, Brady's Brady? Like, Garoppolo has not done half of what he's done.
But in other words, people who like the Niners, once Garoppolo took over from Trey Lance, a rookie, inexperienced, you have an experienced quarterback with playoff experience. He's only been healthy 2 full seasons, right? Both times he made deep runs, Garoppolo. And everyone's like, oh yeah, look at the Niners. But if you look at the Bucs and the talent they have on defense and offense, they have a quarterback who wins more Super Bowls than anyone ever.
That's true.
And again, the key is going to be if they can run the ball, that will keep Tom Brady upright, well protected. He leads the NFL with the highest QBR in play action.
It was interesting in Germany, right? Because the Seahawks didn't get much pressure on him.
Right.
And I'm curious how much that had to do with Tampa and how much that had to do with Seattle. So we'll see in the coming weeks if the offensive line is playing better, if they just run the ball better. The youngster, Rashad White, I know they've been trying to work him in more at running back. He seems to offer something more explosive at this point than Leonard Fournette does, so maybe that's part of it as well.
Yeah, and to that point, I spent Sunday with Herm Edwards, who coached Rashad White at ASU and really spoke very highly of him. Yeah. So it echoes what you're saying, Dan.
All this stuff is relatively predictable. Like, this is starting with Brady, and he was going through something, obviously, even when he first retired. Well, I've sacrificed, my family sacrificed for me, I have to sacrifice for my family. I still love playing the game. It was very clear he's being pressured to retire. That's not going to stick. It didn't stick. Then he comes back. He's having issues, marital issues. That's also very apparent. It's then reported. He's then going through a divorce. He clearly hadn't eaten. Oh, you can't say that. Yes, he was skinny. And people who've gone through tough times in their lives, right? He even said it. I try to compartmentalize. That doesn't mean you can. But over time, you start to grow accustomed to the new reality. He looks better. He's playing better. His offensive line, which was wiped out by injury and attrition, is starting to play better. So they're running the ball better. They're protecting him better. All of this is predictable, right? Like, Brady wasn't going to have 10 losses this year or something. Did anyone think that?
No, it's not a Rams situation where the thing crumbled. I mean, but they had trouble getting it off the ground, right? Chris Godwin starts the season hurt. You can see him getting a little bit healthier. They're adjusting to life without Rob Gronkowski. Yeah, I mean, it's likely to be a better team in December than it was in September. I just don't know if they're going to get to the point of Super Bowl contender. We'll see.
Time for the fantasy facts. And here with everything you need to know going into Week 11 is our fantasy football expert, Eric Moody. Eric, we've been waiting for the Packers' second-round draft pick to catch on, and wideout Christian Watson finally did that Sunday. None of the weeks I used him in daily fantasy, but Sunday he decided to have 3 touchdowns. What should we expect from Watson in fantasy moving forward?
Yeah, fantasy managers should be excited about Watson. You're looking at someone that can be a high-end flex option with upside for much, much more in your lineup. And one thing about Watson, he had 32.7 fantasy points on Sunday against the Cowboys, so a season high. He had a season high in targets, 8 targets. He had an average depth of target of 20.5 yards in that game. But he also became the 6th rookie to have 100 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns in a game over the last 20 seasons. And so he has the potential to be a difference maker, not only for Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, but also for fantasy managers as well. Pick him up if he's available in your league.
He looked when they drafted him like, oh, it's one of those Packers second-round wideouts who winds up being the best in the league, right? Big, fast, had everything, but it was slow going early. Let's get to your waiver wire pickups for Week 11. Who are you looking at picking up this week, Eric?
Yeah, I'm looking at attacking the running back position. First up, you've got Rachaad White, who had a monster game. He got the start over Leonard Fournette as the Buccaneers took on the Seahawks, had 22 rushing attempts and 105 rushing yards. He was the first Buccaneers rookie running back since Bobby Rainey in 2013 to surpass 100 rushing yards. Also performed really well in yards after the catch as well, yards after contact. And I look at White, and I'm seeing someone that's a low-end RB2 even after the bye week, even in the committee with Leonard Fournette, pick him up. Now, I also like Isaiah Pacheco as well. One thing about Pacheco, he played 55.5% of the offensive snaps as the Chiefs took on the Jaguars. In his play over the last couple of weeks, Max, he's ultimately knocked out Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who is droppable in fantasy football leagues right now. You've got Jerick McKinnon that's handling most of the passing downs and passing snaps, and so I do like Pacheco for the rest of the season. You look at the Chiefs. They actually have one of the most fantasy-friendly running back schedules available. He's available in a ton of leagues. Go pick up Pacheco. I like him as a flex option with upside week in and week out.
And they used a real draft pick on Helaire. Thank you, Eric. Tua.